It's nice to see you again. This is Laurie Lineberry, Director of Laity here at Willowbrook United Methodist Church. Living through this pandemic has caused us to live differently. We're shut in and doing more things by ourselves. We've also lost some of the distractions that have kept us busy. Too busy to try new things that could be good for our bodies and for our spirits. I retired 2 months before COVID hit, moving here to the Phoenix area in the hopes of being able to spend more time with my 3 granddaughters, ages 8, 4, and 3. COVID certainly changed that for me. The first 2 months of the lockdown, I didn't get to see my granddaughters in person, although we did FaceTime frequently. By the time Mother's Day came, my daughter and her husband brought the girls by to wish me a happy Mother's Day from the sidewalk. As instructed, the oldest granddaughter rang the doorbell and ran back to the sidewalk where everyone was waiting in a line to greet me at a distance. The second I opened the door and stepped down on the front porch, the youngest took off running to give me a big hug. That was not what my daughter had planned. Instantly, I was hugged by 3 little people that had been missing their grandma. That was definitely a social distancing failure. That interaction, though, really recharged my battery. That week, I decided I needed to start doing things instead of passively waiting for COVID to go away. I started walking in the mornings. When I was working, I didn't have the time, luxury, or desire to try to fit another thing in my crazy busy schedule. I was already doing work from home before I even left for work in the mornings, and I had 2 to 4 work-related night meetings each week. Adding in exercise was just out of the question. But now I could create a habit of exercising in my life. I'm not a runner, but I felt I could start walking with the goal of increasing my stamina and endurance. So I set a goal and started walking. Since I'm not a fan of exercising in the heat, I decided to walk between 6 and 7 in the morning before the temperatures hit triple digits for the day. The only days I don't walk are days I needed to go grocery shopping, which I do at 7 in the morning. 5 months later, I'm still walking in the mornings. I've increased my distance from 1 mile a day to 5 miles each day. I've lost a little weight, toned up, and I can now power walk the whole distance without getting winded. When I miss a day, I start to feel anxious, knowing I didn't get my walking in. So why is walking so important? Well, that has become my alone time with God, with no distractions, no music, no company, no audiobook, no phone, no computer, no TV, just me and God. It's been an amazing and intimate time that we have been spending together. The time is like a long prayer, and yes, I do get lost in thoughts and sometimes distracted, but it is 40 to 50 minutes each day that I spend with God. It's been a restorative time and a time of reflection. I find myself really looking at nature and for wildlife instead of just walking by it. I'm listening to sounds along the walk. I'm watching the changes in plants as the summer season passes and the fall season begins. I've seen mother quail herd their young both physically and through their constant calls to their babies. I've watched rabbits grow up and have their own families. I've seen an occasional solitary coyote passing through the area looking for something to catch and eat. I watch hummingbirds fly from flower to plant, hunting for sweet nectar. An occasional hawk makes the rabbit scarce as it soars in the thermals in search of food. The beauty of this world created by God for us is overwhelming. The hymn for the beauty of the earth runs through my head, and I look at all the colors I pass. And I try and name every color green that I can see: moss, evergreen, grass, celery. And I am thankful for creation. What have you done in the COVID time to reset your time with God? If you haven't started anything different, it's time to start. Think of a new way that you can make your alone time with God special. If you're a writer, start a gratitude journal, listing something that you're grateful for each day. And like Pastor Ruth encouraged us in her last sermon, be specific in your discussions with God. If you've always wanted to learn how to bake, try baking something new each week and find a way to share that new creation with someone else. Begin a handwritten campaign of thanks. Each week, write a thank you note of appreciation to someone in your life that gave you hope, lifted you up, encouraged you when you were down, someone that changed your life or just your outlook. Think about teachers, classmates, co-workers, longtime friends, church folks. There must be dozens of people. Be an instrument of God's peace and grace during this time of reset in our lives. Start something new with God. I would be interested in hearing how this new thing you start changes your relationship with God and your relationship with yourself. So be it. Amen.